rose, the way it's kind of dying, but it's not dead.
Yeah.
There's one thing I didn't say about it, which it's very familiar to me, and that's kind of why potentially at first I wasn't able to straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Because I come with me somewhere else, because
Okay.
as much as I trust the tower and the basement, people do walk in here.
I suppose even our closest secrets are no longer secrets in this place.
There's one place, however, that no one goes.
Haven't been up here yet. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you're the first, apart from myself.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can see my house from here, just barely.
You can see a lot from here, which is the nice thing about it.
It's a great view. My favourite view is right here.
You must be looking in a mirror.
Oh.
So it's very small, I apologise on that.
No, it's perfectly fine. It's cozy.
I don't think you'd say anything about this personally, but I would prefer you don't mention it to Apollo at all.
This secret's safe with me. Don't worry.
The reason I was asking about healing and potentially bringing someone back, technically from the dead, which I didn't phrase it like that, is because I've died before.
Like, died? Or...
I've died. When I arrived, I wasn't injured. I was almost dead.
I see.
Which is why I think this. It's the reason I don't like the scar on my arm. It's why I cover it. Because it's a constant reminder that I died, and
I see.
it's healing, but it's the first time I ever scarred as well. The two elves I met, I didn't really meet because of the elves that saved me. Apparently they weren't the ones who did the magic.
Well, it's difficult to really determine,
And that's
considering you're a mix of biologies, but it's very possible that you could have saved yourself, even with a lack of magical knowledge.
And that's why I was asking. I had a feeling it was something to do with, because shulks, we adapt to things. I have been in battle many times. I have been injured. I've never died. My skin is a tough thing to break. So what I think happened from the day I arrived is that my elven features is what my shulk has been my shulk DNA has been adapting to.
Yeah.
So I think in a moment when I was moved from one dimension to the other, I was partially human between the two. While it changed and formed and altered itself. And then part of the elvens might have saved my life as well. in a
Well,
sense, like people do in the human world with that, the machine, that machine.
the dip,
Yeah,
it's that
defibrillator.
one.
Yes,
Yes.
that one.
I don't know what it's called properly. I know what you mean though. It's definitely an unheard of case, but well, sharks aren't exactly well, they don't live in the
Around. They're
overworld.
not exactly walking about, which...
No. Elves, however, are, so not only does it fit the world better, but do correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe shulks are immortal.
No, we're not. Shulks aren't immortal. We live longer just because our genetics. They're not...
Yeah.
I'm not going to say better because I don't think any race is better than other. Like endurance,
No.
I have no problem with endurance, obviously. But we had tougher skin. We were less likely to be ill and stuff. But from what I know, the race of Elfayam are immortal. So
Yes.
it's a weird one.
It's definitely a weird and interesting case, but I mean, talking of theoreticals and considering you're standing right here before me, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Despite how mind-bending it might be, that actually could be a reason between the differences in your auras.
What, mine and Apollo's?
Yeah, you remember I mentioned noticing the similarities between you at the masquerade.
Yeah.
They're similar enough to be siblings, but yours is different in an unusual way I couldn't quite pinpoint. I had assumed it was simply because you were part Shulker and I hadn't met one before, but dying would probably also make an excuse for it.
It might be a better excuse since we're...
Especially since I now have a reference of your brother.
He's my twin.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I feel like if we were just siblings, that might be why they're different, but I don't think they'd be that much different considering we're twins.
Even with twins, there'll be a small difference, but it'll be a lot less than just being regular siblings. And even then, you have not a major amount of difference for siblings, but it's a bit more than what I would typically see, which is why I didn't bring it up to you during the dance.
Yeah.
I thought it could have just been, another Shulk in the end. Who knows how close their bloodlines are related. But I guess
he was so rude
rather
to
close.
Me. Yeah, he was so rude to me with that stupid fucking bag on his head.
Ugh. Well, the toad offer is always on the table. One day I'll teach you how to make that potion.
Yeah, I don't...
Spoiler alert, the main ingredient is mushrooms. Perfect situation.
I mean, there is plenty around.
There is plenty. So if he gets on your nerves, ring me up. I'm down for a minor mischief.
It's one of those situations where it's one of the things he said that just... It does kind of hurt, but I mean, he wasn't wrong.
What is...
He said, I need to stop acting like a warrior and act like his sister.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I just got you back after 10 years. I know it's been a longer time for you, but...
Regardless of relation to somebody, being away for such a long time can create much bigger distance than you can really describe. It's understandable for you to have your guard up, especially seeing as you weren't 100% on him actually being your brother at the start.
I think it's also because a bagel is about as well. Like, I don't trust any Enderman, like, at all. I
haven't had much of an opportunity to talk to Bagel, but...
I wouldn't.
Well, if they're around, they'll be around. And I'll see what I can find out to make sure that they're not Ill intent is, I suppose.
From what I know, which ironically, for as much as I dislike them, I got something out of them. Is that they found the end boring, so I think they're coming here for entertainment and cause stuff, which I'm not a fan of.
Well, if it's a couple of pranks, I don't mind, but if they're going to blow something up, I will have a bone to pick. We'll keep an eye on them. Don't you worry.
This might be a touchy subject, but does anyone know anything about Panky and that?
I haven't seen nor heard of them. Sky and I went to check their place to get my pickaxes back, but they weren't around. I didn't sense them anywhere, and Sky destroyed the island they made for me.
Sky is my favorite person.
As you can imagine, she's on a bit of a warpath when Panky is concerned.
I think I am too, Jay. More not towards Panky, more towards Sully personally.
But... yeah, there's not much we can do about them for the time being, but I'll be sure to do my research.
Yeah.
The issue with Selene is I'm unsure what they are. They're not a god, they're not a demon.
Yeah.
But they're more powerful than I am. And I'm not quite sure where they fall on the spectrum.
Tofu, they wanted power. They want to be more powerful than the deities. Can someone be blessed? Or not blessed, but like given power from somebody? And if so, could that be Selene? Selene's just, say, a normal magical creature. Could be an elf, could be a fae. But
yes, but the only being who would be able to bless somebody to near godhood would be a god themselves.
So we just find a god and we'd ask politely if they did.
It depends on the god. That sword will do nothing.
I know. That doesn't mean I can't try.
God. It doesn't mean you can't try, but I would very much advise against it. Gods are beings created by the universe itself, and therefore are of immense power. Only a god would be able to give another person enough power to elevate them to a higher status. Selene isn't as powerful as Karma is from the brief interactions I've had with them and sensing of their aura that I did, but they're not far off. So if we were to go with that theory, and it's still currently a theory until we can get some kind of evidence, or we lose any other thought of what to do, the only person who'd be able to un-empower them would be the god who gave them the power in the first place.
So, what if... Hear me out. Could the third deity be a said god?
We know nothing of them.
That's what I mean. That might be why
I wouldn't rule out. It could be. Definitely could be. The problem with gods is they don't show themselves often. They don't even really live in this plane most of the time. They have their own world to reside in that so little is known of it doesn't even have a name.
Imagine living in a place with no name. Massive.
Imagine living in a place that's so creative they called it the end.
My defense, it's a very pretty place. At least it has a name.
At least it has a name, but I'm sure their place has a name. It's just that secret. They believe other creatures too lowly to know of it, but...
Well, I know people like that. So, I've dealt with people like gods before.
Endirian do not equate to gods, no matter how much they might think they do.
Oh, trust me, no, we've had worse. We've had so much worse.
Oh. But, yes, finding a god... It's basically impossible. You can't even summon them. They would come if they wanted to. And, I mean, considering we have, like, definitely could be. The third deity definitely could be some sort of god. But the sort of, like, from the knowledge we have of them, it's nothing. So it's either they're a god or they're some other powerful entity who disappeared along with the civilization, and that could mean death. But I guess unless we find the logbooks, we won't really find out. They seem to be our best source of information so far.
Yes.
And that third one is rather elusive.
Oh my god, a bee. Sorry. I don't see bees much.
Like, I mean, you have a hive in front of your house now.
I think Apollo put it there.